Welcome back to Gilmore Farm. I work out of state several days a month, and on my way out of town, I try to find neat little stops along the way and make the most of it. So this time I decided to run through quickly the Amish area just southwest of Nashville, Tennessee, on my way to another Amish area where they have a really great feed store in southern Kentucky. Going through the Amish area of Tennessee requires me to go up the Natchez Trace for quite a long time, a little over 100 miles. If you've ever been on the Natchez Trace, you know the speed limit is 50, which is really hard for me to do. But with the help of cruise control, I made it and no tickets were had. It was a gorgeous day on the trace and for driving, which I love because sometimes I have traveled in the worst of weather, like winter storms, all kind of things. So I was so thankful for this great day for traveling. I follow a Facebook page that I highly recommend for this area. It's Amish of Ethridge, Tennessee, I believe is the name of it. But it's this guy who lives in the area, and he gives you everything you could ever possibly want to know. And if it's not right there in the top comments, you can hit the 3 dots on their profile and do a search for what you're looking for. Like I was specifically looking for cutting boards and wooden spoons on this trip. So I did a search, and then on one of the posts that he had recently made, I actually asked him if he knew where I could get wooden spoons specifically, because I could not find it in the search. So you'll see here I'm starting to enter into the Amish area. I just love their farms. They're just so beautiful to me. They seem to be very well maintained. Everything's always so just pristine. I love the shape of this barn. And I just get excited pulling into Amish areas. I don't know why. I just think they're so fascinating and interesting to see the different ways people live. So in this area, it's a really big community, and it's actually a couple of small towns that run together. And you'll just have farm after farm, and you can just read their signs at the end of their driveway, and they'll tell you what they have to offer, and you just pull up, and either they'll meet you outside or you can knock on the door. The majority of them are very, very kind. They oftentimes have children out in the yard. There was one house where I got butter, and these 2 little girls, they were probably 3 and 4, were out mowing the grass with a pull lawnmower. It was so cute. But they have everything you could imagine. This house here that I'm pulling up to is one of the more popular stops. Mary Mast is her name, and she's a very sweet lady. I talked to her about quilting for a few minutes while I was there. And everywhere you look are signs pointing you to the direction of where to go. You do need to have cash on hand. They don't take cards or checks. So make sure before you go into any Amish area, you have cash with you. And I just cannot get over seeing horse and buggies driving down the road. I love it. I think it's so cool. Like I said earlier, I was on the hunt for cutting boards and wooden spoons specifically. I have been using cast iron more and more, and I'm trying not to scratch my pots and pans. So this house, or this address, was recommended to me on the Facebook page, and so you'll see they have signs again, and then, man, what a driveway. It was a gorgeous drive up from the main road. As you'll see when I am pulling up the hill to this house, there are quite a few buggies and horses and men working out at this barn. So I went into the shop and bought a cutting board and a Lazy Susan. And then I was asking about wooden spoons, and they said one of the guys out working lived next door and could help me. So I went out to the barn where the men were, and an older gentleman said yes, he in fact had spoons next door. So he took me next door and I racked up. They are gorgeous. You'll see them later in the video. So I was on a time crunch. You'll see now I'm headed into Kentucky, and I wanted to get to the Amish area in the Scottsville area to get to the feed store I've been to several times. They have excellent prices, and I wanted to stock up on chicken feed, dog food, and check out what they have for cattle. This is a very rural area. You have to know what you're looking for to get your GPS to take it to you. At this stop sign over to the left, you'll see this little store. There's not really a lot of markings on it. I think it says general store outside of it. I just went in there one day to see what they had. It's basically a grocery store, but I did find that they had 50-pound bags of flour and 50-pound bags of wheat berries, so I've bought several things there. And then we're about to turn into the feed mill. You'll see in just a second, they actually use draft horses to grind the feed, and then they bag it. I have to watch what I'm videoing out of respect for them. But it is really such a neat process, and if you're ever in this area, whether you need feed or not, you should go check it out. So here are the horses grinding, and then on the inside, there are men that are bagging it up and tying them closed. And I've kind of got some shots of the board. There's no electricity in here. There's a battery-operated lamp in the office. It is cash only. Excellent prices. And they have something for every animal that you could possibly think of. I'm excited to show you what I picked up. So this is all of the wooden spoons that I got. The two right here on the left that I'm holding, they're actually left-handed. I'm a left-handed person, and I was so excited that that gentleman offered left-handed options. He said his wife was left-handed. And then I always need slotted spoons and different things to stir my sourdough starter with, and I love that little scoop. They actually had biscuit cutters that were very similar to that as well. And just some all-purpose tools. Next is one of the cutting boards I picked up. This is very large. I don't have the measurements, but it looks like maybe about 12 by 18-ish. But it was so beautiful, and I just love the design on it. I know it's kind of bright, but I loved it and thought it was so neat, so I picked it up. I'm excited to use this at home. And you can use mineral oil, olive oil, any kind of food safe oil to keep these in good condition. This is the Lazy Susan. I love this thing. It is so cool looking to me. And I also picked up a cutting board that looks almost identical to this at the same house. This is from the house where they were working on the barn and had the wooden spoons next door. The prices are just unbelievable to me. I think I paid $18 for the cutting board and $30 for the Lazy Susan. And I just thought that was a great deal. I've already used the cutting board to cut up some veggies for tonight's dinner. I also like to swing through antique stores and check out their kitchen items. I was looking for some new loaf pans, and I happened to find this Fire King Sapphire glass loaf pan for $8. And I thought it was so pretty. It does need to be washed. But I was excited to find that. I have a lot of the Wexford by Anchor Hawking bowls and glasses, and so I picked this little bowl up. It was about $4.80. I picked this bowl up for $5 for Carson's puppy Hazel to use as a food bowl, and then this glass cake dome to use for bread and buns and different things, because I find that storing bread under glass works very well. Thanks for coming along. We hope to see you again soon.